sexual abuse is a crime throughout the world. If you already know a child is being sexually abused or has been sexually abused, please report the abuse to Child Protective Service or the police.
And he became even more adventurous with his evil act. By not only fondling with my breast, but playing with my private parts. At age 11, I could not take it anymore, and I told my mother.
Don't forget what I told you, Okay? So don't forget, As soon as we keep to it, everything, the good luck, everything will be selling, Okay? Okay, Mama Dora, Take care of your mom for me, And I'll take my leave now,
Adora. What is that thing that Mr. Amos is always telling you to do that will give you good luck in the market?
I'm very angry. I'm very angry.
Why?
Every time he keep on touching my body.
He does what, Oko?
Every time he keep on touching my body, and one day he touched me here.
Where?
Here.
Help!
I don't like that, I don't like that. In fact, I'm not going to shop again. It's got to know that I'm a small kid. I'm not going again. I don't like that. I don't like that.
It's life.
She expressed shock. And she advised me to be careful.
Adora, my daughter. I know it's difficult, But we have to be careful. And then, so that we don't upset Mr. Amos. Chai. You know he gives us goods when we don't have money to pay, Abby. And you know, if he doesn't give to us, we'll be hungry, and soon they will kick us out of this house. So, my daughter, Mom, please, please, let us be a little, It is well.
And also to remember not to upset him, because he was able to give us fruits and food to sell, and we had no money on credit.
She said that?
And then she promised that she was going to speak to Mr. Amos.
That was being vulnerable. She said that to you?
Yes. I had no choice but to accept what he was doing, being that my mother had advised me not to get him upset and be molested by the fruit supplier, Mr. Amos. It was just part of my sexual ordeal every time I go to get fruit from him to sell. I faced all sorts of boys, men flirting and touching my body every time I go out to sell goods. And these evil men will smile at me and say nice things to me, ask me to keep the change. At the same time, they would touch my body, not minding that I was just 11 years old.
It's okay. It's okay. I know how you feel, okay? It's quite a horrible situation that you faced. I'll just leave you here to recover, okay? Yeah, it's quite painful to see healthy parents sit at home and send their kids on the streets, selling goods to help pay their bills. I hope our leaders will look into this and not just enact laws to protect our children, but also enforce it. Now, there are a lot of children, millions of children out there who have been sexually harassed as well. I mean, these children not just use their physical strength to sell their goods, but also compromise their future and education. and painfully become victims of sexual abuse at a very tender age. In some cases, they end up at the ritual evil killer's shrine. Thank God our adorer is alive today, right here telling her story after the break.
Conversation do not have to be confrontation. It is too easy to lash out in fear or anger, especially if you are afraid of what you might hear. Planning how you want to talk may be as important as you would say. Together, we show sexual abuse, the red card.
Let's stand together and face these demonic acts of pedophiles in our homes, community, and the larger society.
Our parents, we need your support. United we stand against sexual abuse of students here in the Psychologist.
Together we stand in the Psychologist to fight against pedophiles in our society. Show child sexual abuse the red card.
Welcome back, and thanks to our Children for Change choir crew. Parents, please wake up and stop sitting at home and allowing your young vulnerable children to go out there to sell goods just to feed you. As Adora Stories continues.
Okay, my ordeal continued, and the following year my world came crashing down because my mother fell sick and she was admitted in the hospital.
You will die. I'm sorry. Sorry, you will die. You will die. You will die. Lord. Don't worry.
Being that there was no one in the house to take care of me, Mr. Amos offered for me to come to his house. That night I got to his house. He forced me and he had sex with me. There was no way I would have been able to fight him. I was just a tiny 12-year-old. He was...
At the age of 12, he did that to you.
And he was 40.
A 40 years old man did that to you at the age of 12?
And it became worse when my mom was diagnosed with HIV.
Oh, come on.
2 years later, she died.
My love is gone.
I think you have to take her home now. Okay, we're going to take the body to the mortuary.
At that point, I did not feel the need for anything else, because I was left in the world of male vultures that were always ready to devour my body. I lost every respect for my body, and I would give my body freely to any man who was willing to pay.
Why was that? You now became worthless and it was now free for all?
There was no use. There was no use. But I got lucky when the first lady of my state organized a home for rehabilitating prostitutes. I registered, and they taught us a lot of vocational things to do. I went in for tailoring, and when I was 19, I graduated and then they opened a fashion house for me. It's been 8 years now, and in 8 years I have been able to train about 40 girls.
Wait.
Then I heard about your program.
I need to come in there, sorry darling. You mean you trained 40 girls?
Yes.
Were they prostitutes?
Yes, they all were prostitutes. And they're doing very well now.
Sexually molested, just like you?
Similar story with mine.
Wow.
So when I heard about your program, I wanted to be the first to come here and share my story with the world, with the society, with the government, so that it can reach out to people and prevent children from going through the horrible journey I went through.
Put yourself together. I know how you feel. Just put yourself together. It's a good thing you're here telling the story to a lot of people who are even more vulnerable than you, watching you today. You're some form of inspiration to them. Do you understand? Now, I really can't help but thank you enough. You know, your experience has a lot to ponder about. And I want to say you have really done well for yourself.
Thank you.
Your experience has a lot for us to really ponder about. I mean, from religious beliefs to family rejection and then to reckless systematic failures. It's been all very horrifying. Your story has been very horrifying. But I want to say sorry. I'm so sorry for everything that has happened to you. Okay?
Thank you.
And I really also want to say thank you for you coming to this show to explain your story, tell your story, speak out, because quite a lot of people out there, they don't speak out. Do you understand? They don't speak out about their ordeal. Some of them are ashamed. Some don't want to come out because they feel they will be stigmatized. You know, but you were here, you're bold enough to tell your story. Not just coming to tell your story, you're also coming to help yourself, because while telling your story, you rebuild your strength again. And then you're also impacting knowledge out there to a lot of young children who are very vulnerable. I want to say thank you. A hug from you. A hug. You look good. You've done well for yourself. You've done well. Adora, you've done well.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, you've done well. Thanks for coming. Thank you for coming. Yeah. Well, viewers, it's another very emotional episode of The Psychologist. And right here, I'm The Psychologist, and I'll continue to encourage every victim who has experienced child sexual abuse. It doesn't matter how long it has been. I really do want you to come out and speak out. You're not only helping yourself by telling your story, you're also helping a lot of young, vulnerable children out there watching you today. I mean, they're going to be learning from your story and then knowing the different tactics being used by these pedophiles to entice children. Also, we are working closely with the police in investigating this evil act of pedophiles. Definitely, they will not go unpunished. They will get punished for their crime. They will definitely pay the price. Well, that's it for today. My name is T. Kerry. See you next time. Bye-bye.